What is up, everyone, and welcome back. I've had a lot of requests for Japanese power metal band Mary's Blood, and yesterday I shot a video for Wings. Unfortunately, I got the micro shaft. What does that mean? It means that the Microsoft update completely screwed over all of my settings, and no desktop audio came through the recording process, so I had no track audio. Really love the track, really enjoyed the track. To make up for it, we'll go ahead and give you Mary's Blood and the track Veronica live Blaze. Really curious to get another track from them. Really enjoy their singer's voice, and I'm curious to hear more from the band. So let's go ahead and get into it. The band is Mary's Blood, the track is Veronica, and here we go. The mix here is actually a lot better than the other video I checked out, so I like this. Really slick, tremolo picking, great riffing. I like how the drummer's actually varying it up here. Oh, I love her voice. So much power. I love that break that she has there. You can hear that raw grit. Their singer's got such a cool vibrato. She really floats in that mid-range. She's got so much power there. The riffs have almost a metalcore feeling here. She gets up to that top point in her range. She has this really cool break that happens, and she's got so much brute power, she's able to punch right through those little spots where she gets pitchy. The drummer has got some real speed to her. It's clear they're using triggers and you can hear it, but man, she is quite good in these very fast passages. There's some really slick little licks coming from their lead guitar player. Cool sweeps there, here and there. Cool little accents from their bass player there. God, I love when she gets up in that top end. Great crowd interaction here. Really impressed with that. Nice fill. I was wondering if the drummer was going to break that up or not, if she's going to stay in that power metal beat. The lead's a bit sloppy here, I got to admit. There's points where she's really clean, there's points where she's a little off. Love that bass run under the riff, though. The tremolo picking there was a cool touch. I like the way that riff shifted. It's a really awesome riff there. Love the raw amount of power that their vocalist has in her range. They certainly come from the very Dragon Force-like school of bombastic power metal here. I love how their drummer's just blasted away and she's smiling the entire time. Both guitar players are really locked in here in this harmony. Very well done. I don't completely love their lead guitar player's lead tone, I gotta be honest. Alright, that was Mary's Blood. That was Veronica live at Blaze. And there's a lot to like. I actually like the track a whole lot better than I liked Wings when I listened to it yesterday as I shoot this. It's more dynamic. There's some really cool grooves in the track. That big main riff is very Dragon Force-ish. That very speedy style of European power metal. The drummer has more room to breathe here than she did in Wings when I heard that yesterday. Really like the fact that I get a little bit more out of her, because there are points where she is certainly straightforward and they are locked into the power metal double bass snare groove. That very typical power metal beat that you expect from that style. She's got some really cool fills. She's really strong as far as holding her time and being in the spot she needs to be in. Bass player really has more room to move in this track. She's got some really cool accent lines going on. But most of the time, unlike, say, Aldius or Love Bites, their bass player seems to be a little bit more in the pocket. She's not accenting as much, which is kind of surprising because if you notice, most Japanese bands really do put a bit more on the bass players. And she's definitely more in the vein of European or American power metal bass players where they're really just locked into that root. They're not following your guitars as much. And they're just holding it down, which is completely understandable considering they are a guitar-driven band, and that really does really need to drive the track. The riffs are really strong. Really enjoyed them. I don't necessarily love the very sharp, almost brittleness of the lead tone. And there's a pedal tone of some type on there, kind of like an open wall-like sound. I don't necessarily love it. It's very aggressive. It has a really sharp bite to it for me. And there are points in the opening of the solo where she's a little sloppy. You can hear that she's just not landing on the notes right, and she slows down when she slows down a little bit, and she misses things when the picking gets a little more intricate. When she's doing some of the more simple sweeps, and she's doing a lot of her tremolo picking, she sounds really good. And I do feel like there are points where she just throws licks in as opposed to really writing and structuring the lead. She knows she wants to throw in a lick, and instead of using different licks or different techniques to get around the fretboard to navigate it and make it sound very cohesive, she just kind of goes from one part of the fretboard to the other, unlike a lot of more technical or skilled guitar players that have a bit more of an ear for that. Good example would be guys like Andy James or Marty Friedman, among many. But a lot of the bigger name guys that are really, really good at that, really good at writing solos, will know how to navigate from one part of the fretboard to the other. And there's a lot of fantastic players out there. So I'd like to hear a little bit more of that. I'd like to hear her dive into that a little bit more. And tighten up that technique live just a little bit so she's not as sloppy in certain spots. Their vocalist is awesome. She's really, really good. And that's a live, so you're not getting the studio work, the processing, those little fixes. She has got this raw quality to this fantastic big voice. I love that mid range she has, and I love it when she has the intestinal fortitude to really take her voice and scream it to the top of her range. There are a couple of spots where she gets pitchy, but it's typically on the way up. Like when she's going through doing her run and she's going up into that range, suddenly you get a little pitch issue, but it's there momentarily because then she's at the top of her range and she's pushing, and you're getting that really cool break up, that rasp and that growl and that grit, which is something that's just awesome. I truly do hope she's taking care of her voice. I would hate to see her blow her voice out if she's not using the right technique when she gets up there to control that. But she really seems to know how to use her voice. She's clearly pushing. She's a fantastic singer, and I could listen to her go off on tangents like that for many days. I'm going to have to get a hold of the records. I hope we get some of that rawness on the studio record, and I hope it's not cleaned up too much, because honestly, I think that's a real strength for her. Overall, these ladies are incredibly talented. They're a very good band, and it's really interesting to see a lot of the power metal coming out of Japan is composed of either all-female bands, or in the case of bands like Unlucky Morpheus and her other project like Dollbox, female singers. And it's really, really impressive. So I hope to see more of that. I hope to see more of the all-female or the female-fronted power metal, and it seems to be more and more that these bands are actually starting to have success in Europe and starting to have success in the States. Both Aldius and Love Bites are getting a lot of exposure over in Europe playing Fest season. And I know Love Bites recently signed with Nuclear Blast. So I hope Mary's Blood is able to jump in on that, capitalize on that. I know Bandmate is also starting to get a little bit more exposure here in the States and in Europe as well. So please, let's hope that trend continues, because there are some killer bands coming out of that scene that are making waves internationally, and Mary's Blood is certainly a part of that. I look forward to covering them more in the future. Outstanding stuff overall. Truly enjoyed that track. Can't wait to get back to you. Thank you guys. I hope you're doing well. I love you. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you to my law enforcement, military, veterans, and first responders. What you do every single day. As always, you have been awesome. I have been Baldman. I will see you in the next one. Be excellent to each other and keep headbanging.